one, I cannot be the two. Why you on a perimeter, can't even shoot? Oh, you got a whack at jump. We gon' make it rain, no thunder. I ain't tryna sit on the phone, tryna.
All right, chat. It's Monday morning. I'm here just thinking about the Giants' loss last night. And before I want before I speak about the actual game, I want to talk about everything leading up to the game. And this is what started it all. Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito. Bonito. Benito. I don't know. Nick, a great player for the Denver Broncos, possibly defensive player of the year this year, went on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Twitter, and typed this tweet. I've never seen such a delusional fan base, which I think that's credit to us as Giants fans of how delusional we are about a team, which really means to me, when you talk about a delusional sports fan, they just have undying belief in their team. And the Giants were 2-1 heading into this game with their rookie quarterback. Lost the game they shouldn't have lost. So I think a lot of Giants fans had reason to be delusional. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had hope in such a long time that, when Jaxson Dart and Cam came by and our defense is playing great, we got a little carried away. And I mean that in the worst way. We did get carried away. Not before this tweet, because I wasn't seeing anything crazy before this tweet other than, Giants have a chance. You know what I'm saying? Even the most adamant Giants fans were just saying we had a chance. And obviously we did, but we'll get to that in a second. This tweet caused so much kerfuffle on the internet that people just took it too far. Talking about this man and his play and the Broncos team and Bo Nix, Sean Payton, and all that other stuff is great, is inbounds. But then we got to some tweets that I don't even want to put up on here, but that were just terrible. There's basic level disrespect that I would never go to, of talking about injuries from another player, you know what I'm saying, or hoping a player gets injured, or, oh, remember when this player got injured, and then people were talking about Malik's and his ACL, and you know what I'm saying, like that was already dirty pool in the first place. But then some Giants fans took it overboard. And as you know, or if you didn't know, this game was dedicated to Demaryius Thomas, number 88 from the Denver Broncos, gone too soon. Pay your respects. But the Giants fans didn't. Some of the worst Giants fans didn't. Instead of, realizing that some things are just out of bounds, they decided to, of course, speak on the deceased. And that's not something I appreciate, respect, find funny at all. Especially when most of the people that were doing it were faceless accounts. Like, all these people get on the internet and they talk a lot. They say some wild things. And at the end of the day, they're just fan pages. You know what I'm saying? They don't have pictures of themselves. You don't know where they live. It's easy to get up on a platform and just tweet as rage bait as you can. And I'm fine with rage bait. I like rage bait, but there's a level of, now you're just being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get people angry, and yeah, it worked, but that's just, I don't know, tasteless comments, just disrespectful. And after we lost the game, and I sat there and just scrolled through Twitter as I do every game, I realized, dang, I wonder if we lost this game before we even started it. Obviously, in the game, up 19-0, I'm like, oh my God, I feel great. I'm not even thinking about Twitter. I'm not even thinking about the tweets from before. But after I got settled, I was like, well, I don't think we deserved to win this game. On the field, we did. But just because of the way our fans were acting, I have nothing against the players that were talking back. You know what I'm saying? They were posting little memes back, or whatever the case may be. And, Denver got the final laugh. Congratulations. So I have nothing wrong with the players talking smack, and because they held up their end of the bargain for the most part. Obviously didn't get the win, and that's what matters most. But we were dog walking them. We were dog walking them the entire game, and it just didn't end up the way we wanted it to end up. And sometimes that happens. And then we get to the actual game, and the roller coaster of not only the win probability, but my emotions in this game. It was just, again, It might just be what we deserve as Giants fans collectively. Obviously, I wasn't out here talking crazy, but some of us were. So maybe this is why this happened. Maybe this is why this is the most wild win. Like, we were literally at some point 100% to win late into the fourth. We were look, at halftime we were at 70, basically 75% to win the game. It's just so wild how these things go. And if you look at this stat right here, because they said it at the end of the broadcast, it says right here that NFL teams had won 1,602 consecutive games when leading by 18 points with 6 minutes or less to play in the fourth quarter. Until today, until the Giants did it. And I don't like when Giants fans talk about Giants like we're the worst, or, like we always lose. We always find a way to lose. They call it chargering. They used to, Browns, the Jets. We're not bottom of the barrel. We're not a bottom of the barrel team, franchise, or anything like that. Um, Even in history. So I don't know why it's just a pessimistic type vibe. And I like, some tweets that are funny about, pessimistic Giants views and stuff like that. They're funny. But when you actually have that mindset or mentality, I'm annoyed. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to see all that. We're not down bad like that. We're just not. And then of course we get to the actual game itself. And guys, I don't even know what I want to say about the actual game. It was all good. It was all good until the fourth quarter. And Broncos fans, this is your couple minutes of fame. That's a resilient win. A lot of you guys were complaining about the play calling when it wasn't working, and then you guys have to open up the playbook and look at what you did. 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's amazing. I don't care who you're playing, and I'm not saying the Giants are a terrible team, but we are a 2-5 team. But I think our defense is really good. Thus, why you had 0 points through three quarters. But 33 points is impressive if you're playing the Jets, the Panthers, I guess the Saints. You know what I'm saying? Really, really bad team. So it's impressive regardless. Bo Nix, that's resilient. His legs were huge in this game. He made some great throws. Cortland Sutton on the sideline. Marvin Mims came through with some big plays. That defense, I think, left a lot to be desired. Even though this is supposed to be the strength of your team, I believe. Defense, O-line, things of that nature. 14 carries, 81 yards. I think you'll take it, but when you're down, the whole game, you probably want to run the ball more. Again, I like your coach. I like your quarterback. I don't love your quarterback, but I think he gets the job done. Um, that defense is for real. It's supposed to be for real at least. And Jaxson Dart did what he did. Cam did we. I didn't say we want to. I don't want to say we had our way with you, because we earned it. But I also want to say that you gave it to us most of the game when we talk about penalties. I don't know if it was just the emotion of it all. Maybe, Twitter rolled over. Maybe the DT thing rolled over. Peyton Manning's in the building. I don't know. But it seemed like you guys were not locked in for real when it came to penalties. Some of them were bad. The pass interference penalty that really gave us that last Jaxson Dart touchdown, I'm on record as hating those calls, especially that one because the DB turned around. When the wide receiver has to go through the defender to get the ball, I hate that call, but I understand it. If he doesn't turn around, you're going to throw the flag. But now this is twice that I've seen that. Not only in this game, but it happened to Travis Hunter a few weeks ago. That yeah, the DB had to go through the wide receiver to try. I mean, the wide receiver had to go through the DB to try to make a play on the ball. But the DB turned around too, and I just don't like how the defense doesn't have an equal opportunity at the ball, if that makes sense. Because this game is already structured for the offensive side of the ball, and I want defenses to be great again. I want defense to be, giving up 6, 7, 13 points. I like it. I like it. That's hard-nosed defense though, and with calls like that just give you the ball at the 1 line or the 2 yard line, and then your coach with that half yard or that yard marker to make it closer to the goal line. I didn't hate him going out there to do that because in reality, the chances that you stop Jaxson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, Jaxson Dart with him and his legs, and then it's just at the 2 yard line. That's a hard ask. Not saying that you can't do it. It can be done, but really, once you're giving up the ball at the 2 to make it from the 2 to the 1 to fight for your guys, and I feel like that give you guys energy. Like look at our coach out here on the field, literally fighting with us. You know what I'm saying? He arguing with the ref, playing his part. So I think that flag was worth it. The other ones during the field of play were kind of bad. 4th and 19, Jaxson Dart converts the ball to Wan'Dale Robinson. Barely. It looked like, with the TV marker, it didn't get it. But in real life, you saw how he got it. And then they added 15 yards to that for a roughing the passer. So I just feel like there was a lot of things that you guys honestly gave to us. We don't got to talk about the offhands touchdowns. I mean, we both got one. But we'll talk about the Giants side of that later. So Broncos, I can't give you guys too much credit because the way you guys got walked down by Jaxson Dart at home, you know what I'm saying? You guys really got whooped most of the game by Jaxson Dart, a rookie, Cam Scatterbo, a rookie, an offense with little to no weapons. Wan'Dale Robinson is our best player, and I think he would start for you, but over Cortland Sutton, definitely not. Mims is a good player. I think they're comparable. So, anyways, it's it's an historic comeback, but it's more about the collapse. I think, Giants lost that game, not Denver won that game. But anyways, back to the Giants. Just like I was talking to the Broncos fans a second ago, they gave us that game and we gave it back. They were like, "Here, we don't want to win," and we're like, we kind of want to win, but I guess not. Just the penalties that I don't know if I could look up team stats right here. I wonder if I can see yardage, penalty yardage. Penalties right here. 12 for 127. 12 penalties for 127 yards. We had 8 for 36. And I think this game shows that we have good coaching when we're talking about head coaching because of penalties. But I know, and look, time of possession, I think we should have worked this more. No fumbles lost, just one interception. Jaxson Darts. And I don't want to say the game flipped on that interception, but if we would have just punted there, you know what I'm saying? If we would have went 3-and-out, the time would have been so different. The momentum could have been so different. But the fact that we threw a pick there, they returned it to like the 20, another play, they got to the 50. It was really bad. Jaxson Dart's pick was bad. But right when that happened, I just said the defense had to bail him out. At the end of the day, he is a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. And I don't begrudge him for it. Maybe if he was playing the first 3 games, this is a game that he wouldn't have lost. The Saints game is a game he wouldn't have lost. Just for making rookie mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But it's not terrible. It's really not terrible. Obviously, I'm really sad about the loss because of the way we lost. But in all reality, we're 2-2. In my heart, the games before Jaxson Dart, I don't count. But it's hard. It's hard to lose a game like this. And then we can talk about Deonte Banks. Listen, I feel bad for the guy because Twitter hates him, social media hates him. He's a talented player. We can see it in the return game, but I don't know if that's what we need as a DB. And when we put him out there, Cordell Flott's handling business on his side of things. Love it. When Deonte Banks got put into that game and Twitter was all over it, everything fell apart, and it was sad to see. And again, the tipped ball, the deflected pass, actually, because it was Cordell Flott deflecting the pass. And then Deonte Banks was on the second receiver. I don't know if it was Franklin or who it was, but the second receiver back there. And he caught it for a touchdown. It's just a bad look. Like, it's not Banks' fault. It just happened to be he's guarding the guy that scored a touchdown off a deflected pass. Like, it's just, and obviously we got one back, so it's not like, look, they got lucky with a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a bad look that he's on everybody that's getting all these big chunk plays. And every time Flott gets, at least from my memory, and I rewatched the highlights this morning, every time Flott gets targeted, it's like he's playing great defense. It's a pass breakup. The ball's over, whatever it is. And it's just not the same with 2. And I feel bad. Our D-line obviously came to play. Brian Burns came to play. I wish I would have saw more sexy Dexy flash plays, but I'm sure he was working. I'm not on PFF with the grades and all that, but I'm sure he had a great game. Okay, and we can switch gears, stop talking about the game, and talk about the Giants' schedule moving forward. And it's not pretty. We have Philly again, and we could say, "Oh, we just beat Philly. We just dog walked them." What they just did with the Vikings, I'll get into that in another video. I'll talk about the biggest winners and losers of this week. But they're coming off a pretty good win. Jalen Hurts unlocking the offense. I don't know. San Francisco, yes, they're missing a lot of players, but their coaches are coaching. I'm talking Robert Saleh is coaching. I know it was supposed to be, the Denver defense. That's, the hardest defense we faced up to this point. But San Francisco, their coaches, I'm sure they got something for us. Chicago, I'm not really in Chicago. Green Bay, Micah Parsons coming through. Obviously, we do have Andrew Thomas handling Bonito. So we'll see. Andrew Thomas can only get one, though. There's Rashawn Gary on one side, Micah Parsons on the other. Um, Detroit, New England. It's just, we don't get a layup until possibly Minnesota. And even them, well, Washington's not looking too hot, but that's a division game. I can never say those are layups. So it's either Minnesota or Vegas, and then that Dallas game could be for some important stuff. I don't want to say for the division or a wild card, but for some important stuff. Oh, you guys can't even see that. My bad. But we get a really late bye week. That might be good going into the Washington game if Washington's trying to get right and we're fighting for seeding. I know I'm way ahead of myself. We're 2-5. Honestly, in my heart, we're 2-2, but we got a long way to go. It's just, do we have the coaches for this year? Do we have the players for this year? It's getting scary. Both good and bad. For myself, it's getting scary because I didn't come in with many expectations for this year. But then that Chargers game happened and that flipped everything. Obviously, the Eagles game was nice too, but it was really the Chargers game happened. And even the Denver game was promising. We just folded at the end, but it's getting scary for me. It's getting scary for the league. Our games are starting to matter, It's a lot of good things going on. Go Giants. Go Giants.
Thanks for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. If you don't agree with any of my takes, we can argue about it. Get on the podcast, get in the comments, whatever you want to do. You can subscribe to my channel right here. In this other corner, you should get with my TikTok and my Twitter. And in this corner right here, you can watch any more reaction videos, vlogs, or watch any more takes. Till then, see y'all. God bless.